Alright, welcome to vlog number 13. In this vlog I'm gonna talk about my journey so far, and then after that I will give you some insights into what I've learned while I've been traveling here. So a little bit about myself. I'm a backpacker from Sweden, where I study computer science and molecular biology. So I started my trip in Hong Kong, which is a very crowded city and also a very beautiful island. So I was able to windsurf there. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. And then I went to Macau, which is the gambling capital of China. After that, I went to the industrial megalo city of Guangzhou and Foshan. After that, I went to the Chinese Mediterranean sea, city of Xiamen, which has beautiful beaches, by the way. After that, I went to the famous Avatar Mountains in Shanghai. I cruised the Yangtze River to Chongqing, and I also saw the thundering peaks of Yellow Mountain. And then I finally arrived here in Shanghai, which is the most modern city in China. So first, I'm gonna give. I think that what I've learned so far is that China is a very big country, united by a strong central government, which is determined to transform the country into a leading superpower. So first of all, I'm gonna give you a very good tip if you're gonna travel in China. You have to get Alipay. I just got it pretty recently, but basically with Alipay you can go cashless. Like you can pay for train tickets, you can pay for like where you're sleeping and food, and you can rent bikes. I'm usually renting like Hello bikes, especially here in Shanghai, so I don't need to take like the bus or the metro. I can just bike everywhere. It's like 20 minutes. And like here I'm in the center of Shanghai, so I'm on the rooftop bar. It's pretty cool. It's at the Foshan, the Phoenix Youth Hostel. So yeah, basically what you all you need for Alipay is a SIM card and a bank account. It doesn't have to be Chinese, so that's the good part, right? So basically what I do is I take out money from an ATM, I give it to a Chinese guy that has a Chinese bank account, and he sends me money on Alipay, so that's perfect. It's really changed my life, and I almost feel because sometimes you can feel as foreigners or restricted and they can't do the same things as Chinese people because they don't have WeChat or Alipay, but now I feel almost like a Chinese. Yeah. All right. So enough about the tips. Today I'm going to talk about my reflections on China. So have you heard the biblical proverb of give a man a fish and you have fed him for a day, but teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime? Well, here in China, the party gives everyone fishes. It's very efficient at extracting work from its people. So I've talked a little bit about with the Chinese people here, and in the south they say that people, because they're more rich in the south part, so they say that people in the south they work harder, and in the north they're lazy. But I think it's probably not that true. It's probably due to the climate being harsher in the north, so that's why they can't produce as much economic value. But yeah, Chinese people they tend to work pretty hard. But although not very efficiently all the time, I have seen some pretty strange jobs. Like for me, it's very strange. Like at one point, there was a person that was dedicated to just opening a door that wouldn't close on its own. Like you just had to make it close on its own, and the job wasn't necessary. So she did that the whole day. And in Hong Kong, I also saw some people. Their job was to like point in one direction. Like the whole day, they just pointed people in one direction, right? Like, yeah, like a sign would do the same job, right? But yeah, I guess some jobs aren't that necessary. But yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the heart of the issue. I'm gonna talk about the controversial migrant workers here in China. So I've seen them in the big cities. They're usually like workers working on construction sites, and they live in these prefabricated houses. It's almost like forming cities because there's so many of them. And yeah, and basically they're kept at a lower pay. They're paid about 30% cheaper than like the person from a city, and they're kept this way through a system of hukou. I don't know if you've heard about it, but basically you can compare it to a system of caste in India. It's a little bit similar. Yeah, so you could argue that these people are being abused by the system. However, in my opinion, the Chinese government is not really the bad guys. Well, they are, but technically not as bad as us in the West, because at least they are abusing its own people for their own good, right? Whereas us in the West and in the North America, we tend to abuse other nations around us, and yeah, and we have done this throughout history. But like, what's shocking me is that we're still doing it today. Yeah, so I think there's a dark side to the democracy in the West, or the welfare states in the West. So I'm gonna just do a quick example of the Democratic Republic of Congo. My research is a little bit limited on this topic because it's hard to find information, and yeah, so take this with a grain of salt. But basically, it turns out that rebel groups are funded in Congo, and they are dividing the country, like spreading fear and like killing innocent people, just to destabilize the country. And they're funded by international organizations like mining companies that give them money to basically promote warlordism and not so they can't be united, and this to extract natural resources. So I think that international companies represent like 70% of extraction of natural resources in Congo, and yeah, so I think there's like 25 companies, like from like Canada, UK, Australia, United States, and even like from China. And yeah, so and they're actively spreading misery there and killing innocent people just to get access to those resources. So I think that's pretty disgusting. And meanwhile, we're living really good. Well, you know, we have to. We're doing it at the expense of these innocent people. And most of us, we don't know that this is still happening, right? So I think we have to be a bit careful when we criticize China for its migrant workers, because we are doing the same thing. Like our backyard is even dirtier. So yeah, and we often turn a blind eye at home. So why can we criticize China for this? Yeah. I also think that we're living in an illusion of free will and illusion of real democracy in the West, because we are constantly being manipulated by the media and the education system. yeah, I'm gonna go in a little bit deeper on this. Like a lot of people, I know because I've lived in Sweden and France, and they're not like educated in politics. We don't know, like most of us, we don't know anything about politics. And then, like once every 4 years, we're asked to go and vote for a Muppet president that don't even have the interest of the country at heart. They serves like some rich people, and I mean we don't, yeah. And the president is like pretty weak. He doesn't have real influence and real power. So even if he makes promises, often he can't even keep them, even if he wanted to. And also another weakness that I saw recently, I read some articles in the South China Morning Post. It's based in Hong Kong, so it's not submitted to the Chinese censorship, but I wouldn't say it's pro-China, but yeah, I think it's pretty interesting to read. And basically, so you know, there's a trade war between the U.S. and China. So the China, they don't really like Trump. They want him gone, right? So they've done this pretty clever way. So basically, they're targeting his voters, like the voters that support Trump, by imposing tariffs on the products that they produce. Like for example, I know that farmers in the middle of America, they're really pro-Trump. So they put tariffs on their products, so they're really unhappy. So they don't vote for Trump, and they're gonna vote for Hillary. So I think it's very dangerous because other systems of government can really abuse democracy by, I mean, you can buy information about a country's people really cheap and their political standing, and then you can just like target them, and then you can basically manipulate a democratic country pretty easily by just yeah, targeting the right people, and then you can basically like manipulate them into voting for whoever you want. So yeah. So that's it for today, though. I hope you enjoyed my insights. If you have reflections, make sure to send me a message or comment on the video. And yeah, I'm gonna pick up the pace of the video. I've been pretty slow at doing them, but yeah, I'm gonna pick up the pace now, and I'm gonna be in Shanghai for another 2 or 3 days, and then I'll move my way up north along the coast. And yeah, I'm planning to go to North Korea, and then I'll go also to Beijing and maybe Inner Mongolia. So I'm really looking forward to my trip. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make at least 2 or 3 videos a week, and so I hope you continue to follow me, and yeah, tune in to the next time. Peace!